Hola, hola everyone. Welcome back to the Resin Lab by Alexandra. Today I pulled out a couple of repeat molds just to do them a little bit different today than what I've done in the past. I'm going to do this hourglass. Now the last time I did this hourglass, I brushed mica powder on it and then poured a back color. This time I'm going to pour the colors and then color or paint the figures of the couples in acrylic paint and then spray seal it. So that I'm going to do that. I pulled out the shot glass mold to do this a little bit differently. So last time I did this, I did a layer of clear with some gold flakes and backed it with some pigment paste. This time I'm going to do I think I'm gonna do mica powders this time. And then this is a new mold for a napkin holder. So I'm gonna do this probably, not sure yet. I'm thinking I'll do a mica powder for this one as well, and then maybe paint the details on this also. So with all that said, let's get started. Okie dokie, I've mixed up 600 milliliters of resin. So I have already scraped the sides and finished stirring this, so it's pretty mixed up. So now I'm going to separate into cups. I decided to do the hourglass in the Rolio snowflake mica powder. I'm gonna do the napkin holder in an alcohol ink, dark magenta from Let's Resin. I thought about doing a mica powder, but I think it'll look nice if I do it kind of, you know, transparent. And then for the shot glass tray, I'm gonna do it clear with these little mix-ins from Recollections. It's like a mermaid, well, not mermaid. Is it called mermaid? Yeah, it's called mermaid mix. So it has like little seashells and or little shells and sequins and whatnot. So I'm gonna do that for the shot glass tray. So let's go ahead and split up the resin into separate cups. So let's see, for the shot glass tray, I will do, let's do about 150 for now. Because if I have enough space, I'm gonna back coat it with maybe a green, but we'll see how it looks. So 650, so we'll pour that. Perfect. All right. That's perfect. Actually, let's do 10 more. There we go. All right, that's that. I'm gonna do 100 in here. Before I pour in there, I'm gonna pour the mica powder. I'm just grabbing my scoop here. I'm gonna do, that should be good. Whoops. Pouring in some alcohol there to dissolve it. And there we go. Got that nice and broken up. And All right, so we'll do 100 in here. So this should go down to 350. Oh, that's about 150 in there, but that's fine. And I'm going to, let's see, grab this cup here and do 200. Do I want to do that? I'm thinking, you all, because I think I don't, well, if it takes the 300, then that's what it takes. And if we have leftover, then I can always, I just remembered what I wanted to do, but okay, let's do that. And I keep tripping everywhere. Terrible, terrible. Okay. So my thought was, if I had extra, I can pour a little panda, a little propagation station panda. But I should have done the white in here, because then if I had extra white, I could have done that. But let's mix this. And this is the Snowflake by Rolio, and this comes in the pastel mica powder box. And just out of curiosity, I'm going to check the temperature, because the other day, okay, it's at 73. The other day that I poured, my room was about 78, maybe 80 degrees, and my resin got really thick. And I didn't warm it that day, so I'm just curious to know why it did that. Either way, I was able to get my pieces done, so not a problem. But it just seemed weird, because my room was warm, but it wasn't hot. And the resin wasn't pre-warmed. So anyway. All right, that's good. I'm gonna put this to the side. And let's wipe these off. Wipe this one off. Okay. Now let's put, I'm going to put glue in this one too to suspend the sequins and such, and hopefully that works. And I don't mind any transparent spots, but I think I'll do just a little bit more. All right. That's, oh, glue. So I'm gonna do maybe 3 drops of glue today. The rule of thumb that I've seen is 1 drop per ounce, which is about 1 drop per 30 milliliters. but I don't like it to get too goopy on me. So I'm doing 3 drops, which is the equivalent of about 90 milliliters. 1 drop for 3 drops for 90 milliliters. So we'll see if that helps. And I think I might need to put this in a bigger cup. So let's do that, because I want it to completely debubble in the vacuum chamber, and I don't want to have to adjust the pressure while it's degassing, because then I feel like it doesn't degas properly. And since this is going to be clear with these mix-ins, I want it to look crystal clear. So I'm going to put it in the bigger cup so that it doesn't overflow. I have a feeling it will overflow in this cup if I leave it in there. And I'm just scraping the edges here just to get all of those sequins in here. I think it also does a good job, or at least by transferring it this way, I kind of get the glue everywhere. So that's another reason. I think maybe I'll put 1 more drop, just because I don't want it to sink. Well, that was 2, but it's fine. Okay, so that takes care of this one. Okay. All right, put that aside. That looks good. So let's do the alcohol ink. This is a little bit of drops there. Oh, did I get some on my hand? I think I did. Okay. So now I'm gonna do the alcohol ink, which I don't think I've opened, but I'm just shaking it. And nope, I have not opened it. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Let's see how that comes out. Oh, interesting. This is dark magenta, but it looks purple. Oh, this is what's dripping here. There we go. All right. Still looks a little transparent, so I'm going to add another 10 drops. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's probably more like 11, but that's okay. All right, so I'm gonna put these all in the vacuum chamber, and then I'll be back and it'll be time to pour. So I'll see you in a few seconds. All right, everything is vacuum chambered. Just gonna spritz a little bit in here and a little in there. I left it in the vacuum chamber longer than usual, but I still see some bubbles in here, but hopefully those will go away. So let's do the napkin holder first, because that's the deepest one. Spray that with alcohol. And let's pour. Oh wow, this took more than 200. So I guess it works out that that I mixed more than that. Just looking at it from eye level. All right. Not as transparent as I wanted it to be, but that's okay. It still looks pretty. I was expecting more of a pink color rather than the purple. Well, mind you, it's this dark magenta, so I guess that's why. So I'm just gonna let those bubbles rise. All right, move that over. Let's see what I've got here, about 40 milliliters. I know, I will pour. I think I will pour this little mini pot. But before I do that, let's pour the rest of everything. So I'm gonna move this over here. Pop those bubbles there. And actually, there we go. All right. So now, let's do this one, start here. That looks pretty. That looks really pretty, and even though I saw bubbles in there, the resin looks pretty clear. So I'm just gonna scrape what I have in here. Maybe just move that a little bit this way. There we go. All right. Very good. All right. So I can still do a back coat to this. I just want to get some sequins there. Probably another 50 milliliters to back it. Now this is kind of shallow, so the glue did suspend some of it, so maybe I didn't need glue, but I didn't want all of it to float to the bottom, so better safe than sorry. All right, so I'm just gonna wipe off my stick, and actually before I spray it with alcohol, I don't see any major bubbles. I don't see any bubbles for that matter, but I want to make sure that I don't have any on the edges. So I'm gonna take my dotting tool and just break up any potential pockets that are in there. And just go around one more time. See, some bubbles did rise after I did that, so that's good. Okay. Now, alrighty, so let's pop some of these bubbles here on the edge. There we go. All right. Now spray. Okay. That's that piece. Whoops. Put this over here. Put that over there. All right. So now this piece, I see a couple of leftover mica spots that I don't want there. but I'm gonna paint over it anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. So let's pour this. I think I had to get a syringe when I poured this last time. So let me go ahead and let me pour. Let me get this squeegeed in there. And I'm gonna grab a syringe, be right back. Okay, got my syringe. All right. I'll just pour that. Much easier than trying to point the cup in this direction. So I'll leave that here and finish pouring this. Now, let's see. I'm gonna dome the sides a little bit. And dome the top. Other side. And the bottom. Let me look at it from eye level. And it looks nice and domed. Probably have a little trimming to do, but that's not a big deal. So I've got some left over. Let's see. Okay. Didn't want to do that completely. So let me pour a little bit more over here to dome it. Oh no, it's a little too much. I knew that was gonna happen. But this little scraper comes in handy. Okay, I think that is good. All right, yeah, I think that looks good. So, just wiping off my squeegee here. Spray that with alcohol. Spray those. All right. Now I have leftover magenta and white. So I think I'm gonna do, let's do this caught in the white. Oh, I forgot to spray it. There we go. Hopefully there's enough in here. To fill this up. One, 250. So that took about 300. Okay, so the napkin holder took about 300. So just wanted to make a note of that. And I'm gonna have to scrape everything I can out of here to fill this up. And it'll be a little short, but this is gonna go in the giveaway box. Let's see. All right, I'm scraping a little more. There we go. I'm just scraping the rest of it out. There we go. That's good. I'll probably just have to sand the edge a little bit. Okay. Now, let's see, I've got 50, it's probably like 40 of this purple or magenta. So, I think I'm gonna pour this little thing here. So I also make, and I should have mentioned this before, but the reason that I am doing some repeat molds is because I have a craft fair coming up. So I want to stock up on some pieces and have some variety at the market. And I make these boxes as well that I haven't done on camera because I have quite a few in my inventory, but eventually I'll do some. But I use these this mold to make the little knobs for the top of the box. So what I can do is later on pour a box in the same color. Spritz that. So hopefully I have enough. I think this takes about 40 to 50 if I'm not mistaken. So Yep, that should be good once I scrape it. Perfect. Didn't even have to scrape it. So I think I'll just scrape the rest into the napkin holder. And let's see. All right. Just gonna scrape that last little bit into the napkin holder, and then I'll let you all, well, not let you go, because hopefully you're still watching at this point, but I will then come back for demold. So let's see. All right, let's move this out of the way. Move these. And bring this one back. Scrape in there. There we go. And I am dripping everywhere. Okay. I've got just a little bit left. And that's good. Perfect. All right. Well, that's everything. So I will see you all on demold. It's time to demold. So we'll start with the little stuff. So here is the little knob that I poured to use on a box that I'll pour at a later time. And that came out really nice. It looks kind of dark, kind of opaque, but when you hold it up to the light, it shows its true color, which I wish I could, oh, maybe you can see it that way, or maybe not. I'm trying to get it to show you. It looks kind of black, but it doesn't look bad. I'm just saying, like, you kind of have to hold it up to the light to see its true color. But in any case, that came out nice. Here's the little mini pot. Okay. So that looks nice. I just have to trim the bottom a little bit. And I don't see any bubbles. And I might spray seal it just to give it a little more shine, but we'll see. Okay, next let's do the hourglass. Oop, gotta be careful with those. Those are thin. Okay, looks good. Got some light trimming to do. Oh man, let's see if I can trim that part off right now. Okay. I'll have to trim that. Oh, I gotta go slow and make sure this doesn't break. I'm just going really slow. Okay, that's good. The rest, it'll be easy to trim off. Somewhat easy. Okay, I'll finish that afterwards, but that's good. That came out nice. It looks like a really nice, it's a really nice white. So I'm gonna color the couples, and I'm gonna remember the arm for the couple over here. The last one that I did, I colored all of this the same color, so I'm gonna remember to color that differently. But yeah, this looks good. That looks good. All right, let's do the napkin holder. Remove this out of the way. Oh, this one's gonna be a little tricky to get out. Let me spray some alcohol. I know someone commented that spraying alcohol in the molds would dry them out, but I spray my molds before I pour, and I haven't had an issue, and I've sprayed them after or while I'm demolding, and I haven't had an issue. So I'm gonna go with it. And even if it dulls out my mold, I can always use spray sealer to shine it up. Oh my, that's really in there. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull it towards me so I can demold. And I don't wanna rip it or anything. Still trying to get it out. Let me spray a little more alcohol in there. Get that spread out to the bottom. There we go. Oh, that came out really pretty. Super pretty. I don't even think I need to do anything to this. Maybe just something on the bottom here. Just wipe off the alcohol. But that looks really pretty. It came out the way I wanted to. Okay, I was afraid that this part wasn't going to be transparent. But it is. At least you can see, let me show you with the napkin there. So you can see the color nice and pretty. Very nice. I'm happy with it. It's quite heavy too. Okay, so that's that mold. And last but not least, now you'll notice that this has white. I did the back coat of the white, and I was gonna record and I mixed my resin. I put it in the vacuum chamber, and then I sat down and I started pouring it. By the time I realized that I didn't record, it was already too late. So I forgot to record that part basically. But anyways, I used the pure white pigment paste from Rolio for the back. Because I didn't want to take away from the shiny sequined mix-ins from the front. So let's see how this came out. That came out really pretty. I am happy with everything today. This looks so nice. Very nice. I love it. And so again, because it's a shallow mold, the glue didn't really make much of a difference in terms of having the mix-ins float. Either that or they were just too heavy, but that's fine. But I don't see any bubbles, which is really good. I'm looking at it closely and no bubbles. No bubbles whatsoever. So that looks great. Okay, so I'm gonna trim the edges on. I'm gonna have to trim a little bit here, or maybe sand it down. But I'm gonna trim the edges on stuff and then get to painting this and then wrap up for the day. So see you in a moment. right, so I'm all finished. So I painted the couples here with the Let's Resin acrylic markers. Painted the edges here with the silver permanent, not permanent marker, the silver Sharpie, what's it called? The metallic paint, oil-based Sharpie. Spray sealed it so the colors won't peel off. Didn't do anything to this guy, just made sure that the edges were trimmed before, that was before I went on fast forward. Trimmed the edge of the little mini pot, trimmed the edges on the napkin holder. I was going to color the little dots and the leaves, but honestly I think it looks nice the way it is. I don't want to take away from the transparent effect, so I decided to leave it as is for now. If I do this in a pigment paste or a mica powder, I might decide to color in the little beads and the leaves, but I think this looks great the way it is, at least for the effect that I was going for. So I left that alone, and then just trim the bottoms. And then on the shot glass holder, I just trimmed the bottom. I didn't do anything to that. So yeah, so everything is done. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, I appreciate you, all of my viewers and subscribers, and I hope to see you again on Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Bye.